All right, welcome to Solar 201, and I'm so excited to be able to share this with you. Make sure everything's recording properly first. There we go. Welcome to Solar 201, how to become an effective solar ambassador. So excited to have you with me here today and thinking about our home sweet home and the ways that we can all amplify our impact and take care of this beautiful planet that we've been blessed to live on. This workshop is part of the Solar Savvy Real Estate Workshop series that I'm doing on a continuing ongoing basis. You can find out more about them at solarsavvyre.com. And the first two sessions are the basics. So Solar 1 is for real estate pros, top 10 tips for successfully buying and selling homes with solar. And then Solar 102 is Electrify Everything, the Coming Revolution. So that's all about heat pumps and all the rebates and incentives in the Inflation Reduction Act to help people electrify their homes. Next two in the workshop are more about business development. So this one right here, which is Solar 201 for becoming a solar ambassador, and then taking it up a level is the next in the series, Solar 202, growing your real estate business with solar. I also do a monthly Solar Sunday event, and this is open to everyone, just kind of a fun thing to do. And for anybody that attends, I plant a tree in your honor. So bring a friend and hop on Zoom on a Sunday evening with me. And I'd love to see you there. That is, registration is bit.ly/Solar Sunday. All right, so a little bit about me before we dive in is that I've been doing all of this energy efficiency stuff, renewables, for a long time, from when I graduated from college in 1982, working as a building energy engineer. And then I started a couple of environmental nonprofits, and then I've worked for several solar companies as a designer, a consultant, and yeah, and I'm also a former realtor, as well as a mom and a grandma, and a native of Denver, Colorado. I've got to live around the world and happy to be back here now. So this is my passion. I love doing this, and I'm excited to help you be a solar ambassador. And so what is a solar ambassador? Basically, this is just someone that decides to help their friends, family, colleagues benefit by going solar. And you really can dive in here and be part of this and accelerate the transition to a renewable future. And along the way, you earn $1,000 for each person that you refer that decides to go forward with getting solar on their house. The big thing to think about is, what is your why? If you're curious about this, just with everything, when you're setting goals, you're embarking on something, really understanding, why are you curious about this? Why do you want to commit to this? And, it could be that you want to amplify your impact. It might be that you want to earn some money so you can get solar on your own home, or you might want to travel, or just increase your income for any reason. But being clear about that, being able to picture that, can be really helpful. Maybe you've gone solar at your home, or somebody that has, and you're like, man, this is awesome. I wish more people would do this. Well, you can be part of that, of helping them understand what those benefits are and helping them experience that. Or maybe you're just like, I can see that there's these gloom and doom reports coming out saying that we do need to take action to create a livable future. But you're like, you know what? Solar is something that so many people could do. And I would love to help them share in that excitement, share your excitement. And the other thing is that working with me, I'm, with my background as a community weaver, as someone who did a lot of nonprofit community stuff, I love to help you start a movement. If you want to start something at your faith community or your school, your neighborhood, whatever that is, your work, then let's do that. You don't have to just stick with a very small window on this. We can blow it wide open and make as big of an impact as you would like. And I know I asked someone about being an ambassador and they're like, well, it sounds like it's too difficult, too much time, too much money. It's like, wow, it's none of those things. None of those are required. The sign up is free and there's no time commitment. If you just want to be an ambassador, get access to any trainings that I do, great. If you don't want to attend any trainings or networking events, you don't have to. So you can just have it in your back pocket. You don't have any quotas. There's no number of people that you need to refer. There's no specific training you have to get certified on. But if you want to do things like, hey, Joan, I'm going to be tabling at this event. Could you create a sign for me with a QR code? It's like, heck yeah, let's make that happen. And yeah, then you can just get that $1,000 per solar install after installation. So what are some of the resources that ambassadors have? Well, one thing is this community that you can be part of our climate action crew. And as people think of things that they need or ideas they want to share, then we can all be doing that together on virtual meetings, maybe occasionally in person. And yeah, if there's something specific that you're looking for, then maybe it's a training that I do, or I can help you find those trainings. But really, you don't even need to be an expert. When I was doing real estate, we were taught to be the source of the source. So what does that mean? It means that, let's imagine that you're a realtor and your buyer's looking at a house that has a septic system, or maybe a swimming pool, or a solar system. You do not have to be, the realtor wouldn't be the one that would say, yeah, this septic system looks great, I think it's fine. Like, no, you would call in somebody who specifically understood septic systems. Maybe there's some tests that need to be run. So the same with you as an ambassador. When someone asks you, well, what about storage? Do I need a battery or not? Or what about this kind of panel versus this kind of panel? Or, I don't know if I can even go solar, or it's probably too expensive. All you need to do with all of those is just say, great question. You should talk to my friend Joan, because that's what she helps people with. So you don't need to be the one answering the questions. You're just starting the conversation. So we'll look at some of the conversation starters in a second. Then we'll look at Google Maps and Project Sunroof, and know that it's really just as easy as doing a three-way text introduction. You've got a friend that's like, oh yeah, some people knocked on my door. I don't know really what that was. And you're like, oh, I'm part of the Solar Ambassador program. I can refer you to Joan. She can give you a quote and see how that compares, answer your questions. And if they're like, sure, I'd like to talk to another person, then you create a three-way text, introduce me, and we go from there. All right, so here's a few sentences to know. So one of them is, how are your electric bills these days? And it's probably even easier than that, because you may hear somebody complaining about their high XL bills, or whatever electric company they're with. And so when people are expressing frustration and, gosh, I wish there was something that I could do, that's when you can say, oh, have you already looked into solar? Have you already gone solar? That's a great conversation opening to help them get past that feeling of frustration and helplessness to a place of action. Another thing is that a lot of people in the US, and I go into more details in Solar 101 and Solar 102 classes, but somewhere about 65% of Americans are either alarmed or concerned about climate change. And those numbers are even higher for younger people. So a lot of parents, grandparents, they want to do something great for their kids. Well, if your kids are concerned about climate change, why don't you see what their concerns are? And if you can go solar and help other people, help other people in your neighborhood, your school, whatever, go solar, then that's a way to show your kids, we care about your future. We understand the science. We know this is something that requires action, and we're willing to look into this, see if this is something that we can do to help more people go solar. Have you already gone solar is an easy question. And if they haven't, oh, why not? And if they say, I think it's too expensive, I don't think it will work for my house, but I'd like to, then again, you can connect them with me. If they have already gone solar, oh, cool, how's it going? Do you know other people in your neighborhood that might want to go solar? So whether it's yes, whether it's no, there's an opportunity to use that as a basis to reach out to more people. And, any questions that you get, that's a good question. How about if I connect you with Joan? It's just that easy. All right. So now what I want to do is show you a few tools, which I think are pretty fun. So, if most people, when they use Google Maps, they're just navigating, or they're trying to find a certain home. What I want to let you know is that if you're talking to somebody about solar, the cool thing to do is just pull up on your phone Google Maps and turn on this layer here. Because now what you're looking at is you're looking at roofs as potential solar power plants. And, you can zoom in and take a look and see, is there other solar in this neighborhood? Like, let's say if we're looking at this house here, well, it looks like some of your friends over a block or so already went solar. Do you know them? Do you know how it's gone for them? But another thing that you can do, because once you get used to this, you'll see, oh, wow, this is south facing roof that's unshaded. That would be awesome for solar. But to help you calibrate your intuition like that, one thing you can do is go to something called Project Sunroof. So this is just a free website that Google does. It maps the metropolitan areas. I have seen in some of the rural areas that it hasn't gotten there yet. But so here's somewhere in Denver, or Inglewood, I should say. And so when I put the address in there, it's showing me how much usable sunlight is falling on someone's roof. And so what we're looking for is gold. So, hey, there's gold on your roof. If you, in all aspects of the word, right? Because sunny is this more bright color, and then somebody that has a shady spot is a darker color. So you can see by looking at this gives you more information than just looking at the map itself. Let's try another one. So here's another area. This is Green Valley Ranch in Denver. And what's kind of cool about this, I don't know if you can see this, I'll zoom in, but see if you can see solar panels on these houses. So in general, there's 1, 2, 3 houses with solar every block or so. And so this is another thing of like, hey, when somebody's thinking of going solar, they think they're being a groundbreaker. And you can say, well, actually, if, because you can't always see these from the road, so you're not always knowing how many other people have already gone solar. So to show somebody, look at all your neighbors that have already gone solar. Do you know any of those? Can you talk to them and see how it's going? This is called social norming. Once people understand that other people are doing it, have done the research, have decided to go for it, it makes them more comfortable with their decision as they're looking into going forward themselves. So let's see. And you can see in this area why there's so much solar. The roofs are uncomplicated designs. You can see that the more complicated the roof design gets, the less solar, like for example, that one is less solar, less usable solar falling on your roof than something like a simple east-west facing roof. So we're looking for roofs that face east, west, or south, kind of in general. And so any of those can be great for solar. All right, so the next thing I want to show you is what it looks like when we actually, so when we connect with someone, the first thing that we're going to ask them for is their electric bill. And once we have that, we're able to design a system because we use the satellite imagery in our design program. And you can see in a house like this that, let me turn this on for a second too. So you can see that this south-facing roof area is pretty good, but because of the shape of this with these eaves sticking out here, that it's not as conducive. Like if this was just a big flat south-facing roof, we'd be able to get more panels on there. And in this case, the homeowner said, well, I don't really want panels on these little west-facing gables, I think they're called, because they didn't want to see them from the street. And sometimes people say that when we show them what the design is, and then they're like, actually, I would like a few more panels. But whatever way that goes, we are able to design it based on, what that roof looks like. I want to show you another one. So this is an example, like I was mentioning before, of somebody that has this awesome roof, right? This is very uncomplicated, a big, huge south-facing plane that we can put panels on. And we can even go into the edit mode here, and you can see how many panels we could add. So we can turn panels on and off just by clicking them here. And you'll see, how much more production we're able to get out of it. So it's pretty simple. And we show the homeowners this as we're doing this. So we kind of co-create a design that works for them. So the next part is, this is another cool thing that we show people as we're figuring out this design together. So this is a monthly graph. The yellow line here, we call the solar mountain. And as you can imagine, solar in this part of the country, in this hemisphere, we produce more during May, June, July, and it drops off quite a bit January, December. And so what we're doing is we're comparing the production that comes out of those panels to the amount of electricity that this homeowner used on a month-by-month basis. And all of this space in here, between here and our solar mountain, those are all credits that are being accrued. And if we went up here and reduced the number of panels, we would see that this whole mountain drops, and maybe some months we would be using more than we're producing, and other months we're producing more than we're using. So that is the equation that we're looking at when we're designing a system for homeowners. So these guys have this amazing roof, not that high of consumption of energy use. And so that solar system that we saw is able to produce 144%. That means almost half as much again as they used last year. So of course that system is going to cost a little bit more. They could go with fewer panels, they could go with higher panels. In Colorado, this number, we're able to go up to 200%, which means, let's say last year you used a certain amount, but now you're going to go to a heat pump, you're going to get an electric vehicle, and so you want twice as much solar production. On a roof like this, we would be able to do that. All right. So that was the main thing that I wanted to show you as far as the tools and really just how fun it is to give people this opportunity. And if you as the ambassador want to let your friend know, hey, I'd be happy to be on the call with you with Joan so I can see how it all works. and, help you ask questions, help you understand it. I think the more that everybody understands about solar, the better decisions that people are able to make going forward. So this training right here is part of our our Solar for Real Estate Pros. And in the next workshop, we'll dive more into how you could really use the different ways you can use solar to expand your business. But here's, if you just want to be an ambassador, like, I don't want to do this in a big way, just if somebody asks me, I'll send them your way. But realtors are real estate professionals, mortgage professionals. They're speaking to homeowners all the time. And I know when I was doing real estate, you check in with people. Hey, how's it going? Are you thinking of buying or selling? Sometimes the answer is no. Or maybe it's someone who just bought with you. So you could go back to them 3 months later, a year later. Hey, how's it going? Have you already gone solar? If not, then I'm working with somebody that could give you a custom design and see if it's something that would work for you. So it's nice for real estate people to have another reason to reach out to folks, even if they're not moving or buying or selling in the near future. The other is asking for referrals from clients. So this is a common thing you might have learned in networking. You don't necessarily have to ask that person, hey, do you want to do my business? Use whatever your business is. This is a standard strategy. But instead, you say, do you know anybody who is interested in my business? So in this case, so you might have learned that before in the past. So that applies really well here. You're talking to someone. Hey, do you know anybody that might be interested in locking in their electric bills and in improving their carbon footprint by going solar? So people like to be helpful. So asking who they know that might be, and then connecting with them is another way to expand the possible number of referrals and referral fees, a number of people that might go solar. But there's a lot of other things that you can do if you're a real estate professional. If you want to host an event for Earth Day, then you could be promoting solar at that. Your solar partner like me, I can help you with that. If you're tabling somewhere, you could have a sign at your booth or table. One of our solar ambassadors just recently did that with her Earth Day event. And this can all help brand yourself as a solar-friendly real estate pro. There's so many people that want to go solar. There is one survey that I mentioned in the Solar 101 class, and it's something like 50% of Americans are interested in, they either have solar or they're interested in going solar in the next something like 5 years. So, if you've got all these people that are interested, maybe they haven't brought it up because they think you aren't interested or you don't have expertise. So when you bring this up, then you're able to differentiate yourself and attract more people to your business. All right, so that is it for how to become an effective ambassador. And if you're not already working